Finally, some really bullish news. Check out what Kieran said just a few weeks ago.
We have we've always been working on multiple different products, and not just multiple different games, multiple different products, like 25 plus products. We think now the best strategy over the next 3 to 4 months is to get one of our games up to mainstream standard, right? And the fastest one that we can work on to get up to that state is Arena, where we can truly say this feels as good, it's as smooth, the server quality, there's no delays, there's all of the same features that you would get in Underlords and TFT. There's our own flavor of it. There's the better graphic system that's behind it, cool new characters.
He wants to get this done before February 2025. This is insanely positive news and something Illuvium has needed for quite some time. Illuvium has been struggling to finalize a gameplay loop, but now the team aims to do this quickly, making Illuvium an unmistakably fun game. Up until this point, playing Illuvium has been like if you jumped into Pokemon Yellow and Ultra Balls didn't exist for some reason, you couldn't buy Hyper Potions, and the Elite Four was permanently under construction. It just wouldn't be the best experience. Catch all the Pokemon you want, capture Mewtwo, restart the game, whatever, but you can't hit the final credits. That is a little bit like what Illuvium feels like right now. Kieran is showing his commitment to make the Illuvium Gauntlet equal, if not better than TFT, at least with new features. And honestly, it's easy to see how we could get there over the next 2 months, given how rapidly they've been iterating over it over the past month or two, which is something we haven't seen from Illuvium in the past. And it's really, really exciting. The other thing is Kieran said he'll be moving people across to get this done. So let's have a look at what he says.
Overworld, and they're going to go across onto Arena. And the first thing that they're working on is these multiplayer servers. So you could technically say that that's still working for Overworld as well, because it's a requirement on that side.
So he's going to bring people over from Overworld and probably some of the other products as well to work on the Illuvium Gauntlet. Not only that, but they're going to work on the new multiplayer servers. If you haven't been keeping in the loop, currently Illuvium, I believe, is built on AWS, which is a pretty standard infrastructure, and ultimately it's kind of like a stopgap for companies and things like that. But it's finally just not working. The current game we have needs much faster, much better latency, much better connection. And so they are actually building out their own server infrastructure to support the Illuvium ecosystem, which is going to be a big win. Hopefully it doesn't take them too long. In the past, he said maybe 3 to 4 weeks tops to get it done. But the other thing is what he says right here.
World, and they're going to be working on Arena. And we have 60 plus quality of life improvements, big new features, things like carousel, spectator mode, adding in the ranger, our version of portals, which basically you go to either Crimson Waste when you start a gauntlet match, or you go to Abyssal or whatever. And all of these things we want to be shipping ideally every 2 weeks. A whole bunch of stuff out of that 60 plus list gets shipped. And it's really,
he wants to be shipping these things every 2 weeks. So far, I would say we've hit that mark. So I have no reason to doubt him for this moment, because in the past month or two, they've been doing really, really well on that front. 60 plus quality of life improvements coming, which is really great to see. They've also talked about 4 huge new product upgrades. Ranger weapons and suits is one of them. Things like drone augments might be another one. The carousel he mentioned is probably a third. Scouting might be the fourth, but I think there's actually something even better in the pipe. And then we have things like spectator mode that are able to be built now. There's just so much going on to be excited about and make you really think, can Illuvium bring itself out of this little rut it's in and really make itself a household name in crypto gaming? If the game is fun to play, enjoyable, free to play, accessible, then there would be really no reason for people to say that Illuvium is a bad game. Now, maybe people will still hate the economy. I don't know. I don't care. but Illuvium will objectively be quite a fun game to play, a AAA game, and a game to the standard at current modern gaming, if it is as good, if not better than TFT. Let's check out this last snippet before we wrap this one up.
Get shipped. And it's really exciting for us because it's the first time ever that we have been able to pretty much have the entire dev team, apart from Zero, which is in Unity and they're their own sort of beast, working on one thing, right? So we've got the blinkers on, and the idea is we have we've always been working on multiple different products, and not just multiple different games, multiple different products, like 25 plus products.
So now everyone is coming onto the Illuvium gauntlet. So Overworld, probably some elements of the web team, art team, all the rest of it are going onto Gauntlet to smash this thing out and get it complete. Ultimately, people like to ask Kieran, Aaron, and so on, what is your biggest regret? And in my opinion, I think the biggest mistake they made was trying to do 3 games at once. Now, 3 games in the future, great. But really doing 1 game at a time probably would have had a better result, although 3 games at once was really exciting and interesting as well, and really lends itself to the IBG stuff and all that sort of thing. But I'm really glad that they're going to wrap this up, and then they're probably going to go straight to Overworld and smash that out as well. And I think this is going to be really helpful because, as Kieran has said in other parts of this town hall and AMAs and things like that, it's just the mind share is really hard. Like when you're working on, say you're working on Arena and all of a sudden someone pulls you off and now you've got to go work on Overworld, you're going to flip your completely mind. You're working in different tools, different software. It just sucks. And this is going to make it so much better. So I have learnt one singular thing recently, and this is why I'm so bullish, is that no amount of rewards, okay, it doesn't matter how many rewards you distribute, it is not going to hold retention for a game, which is very important to have a game, to improve a game's longevity. The game needs to be coherent and fun. And right now, Gauntlet is actually pretty fun and it's high quality, but it is incomplete, doesn't quite have all the features it needs, and it's really buggy. The crashes, the optimization issues, all these server and desync lags and things like that. By finalizing this, fixing up all of those elements of the game, it will be able to hold new players when they eventually join the ecosystem through other marketing endeavors and things like that that will happen when all these bugs are resolved, and it will be able to actually hold them in the game. Internally in the IMC, we've even learnt about the current retention metrics for the new Illuvium Gauntlet, and it's higher than any previous iteration of the arena that we've ever had before. It's really, really good. And we don't even have rewards yet. Rewards can bring players in. We're not going to hold them there. And we're seeing proof that people are being held there really well by the current gauntlet in its buggy state. Let's just say it's buggy state. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something today. Please don't forget to add my referral code on the Illuvidex. It really means a lot to me, especially with Beyond around the corner. And it might have expired, so please double check. And check out this video on the beginner guide to learn Gauntlet as fast as possible.